My name is Ashley Mullen, and my presentation is on a ministry that I feel passionate to start, and the ministry is called Dirty Feet. As a 7th grader, my life was a little bit different than the average 7th grader. My mom had just gotten out of prison and had just given birth in prison to my baby brother. When she got out of prison, she moved in with my stepdad, and I moved in with them. And I slept on the couch in their 1-bedroom house, and my brother slept in the crib in their room. I also had a stepbrother who was a year older than me, and he lived with his mom most of the time, but he would come and visit from time to time, and he always made me a little bit uncomfortable, but we were family now, and I had to treat him like he was my family. When I was in 7th grade, I was raped by my stepbrother. It was a life-changing experience for me, and I began to delve into a life that was unclean and impure, and I was so confused about what my purpose was and what God had for me, or if there even was a God. I began to engage in sexual things with other boys, and I got into relationships that I probably never should have been in. When I was a sophomore in high school, one of my best friends decided to invite me to church. She invited me to go to youth, and I decided I would try it out. I had been in church off and on my entire life, but never really found anything that I could hold on to there. And I always thought, well, things have happened to me that were absolutely terrible, and I can't overcome them, and I can never be clean and as good a person as the people in this youth. So I decided to go and try it out, and I really enjoyed my time there. I met a lot of really cool people that understood that not everyone's perfect and we all make mistakes. And as I began to go more and more, I realized I'm not alone in the fact that I have a lot of built up feelings and built up past, that a lot of people have maybe different situations, but they have the same thing going on in their life. It was when I realized this that I began to give my life to Christ. And it wasn't an easy process, and it wasn't right away, but I began to see that God gave me a life that I can use. Whether He planned for me to have that life or not, which I know He didn't, I can use that as a testimony to bring others to Christ, to show others that I've been through something terrible too, and I made it. And because of that, my relationship with God is so much stronger than it probably would have been otherwise. This is why I feel God's tug on my heart to start a ministry called Dirty Feet. Matthew 4:19 says, "Come, follow me, and be fishers of men." That was told to a bunch of men who were fishers themselves. That is so simple, but yet so profound. God calls us to reach out to those who are just like us, who maybe we don't see as just like us, but they are. We all have something that we're struggling with. We all have something that we've been through. And whether it's the same thing as the person sitting next to you, or it's completely different, it's a struggle. It's a temptation. It's a sin that you faced in your life. But the awesome thing is, when we come together and share our struggles and how we've overcome them by the grace of God, the one thing in common is that we're all living a saved life because of Jesus Christ. It's amazing how many people you can connect with just by using your testimony. And that's what this youth generation needs. They need to feel that they are not alone in what they're going through, and that many people have been through the same things. But more importantly, they need to know that their own generation is struggling with the same things. It's not always easy to connect with somebody who's years older than you. It's easy to start thinking that, that was a long time ago and that has nothing to do with today and what I'm going through today. But when youth get together and talk about what they're going through and what they've overcome, it gives those who are lost a sense of hope. They can overcome what their peers have overcome. And that's what Dirty Feet strives to do. It strives to show youth that they can overcome this, and they can overcome it together. They're all God's children. And they are a powerful force when they can come together. I'm here talking to you today not to try and persuade you to feel a passion for the same ministry that I do. I'm not here to persuade you to give in any way to the ministry that I have a passion to start. I'm here simply to ask for your prayers and for your support. God has a plan for this ministry, and I don't know what it is yet, and I can't even begin to fathom how awesome it's going to be. But prayer and support spiritually is key to any ministry. And I just ask that when upon watching this, you feel a passion to pray for today's generation, and that you feel a passion to pray for a ministry that's going to reach this generation. Are there any questions?